Hello, everyone. This is Katy Gostaspi. Welcome to the Katy G podcast series, where we're always discovering how we're great, how we could be greater, and how we could bring our greatness to others in the world around us. This episode is focused on finding self-worth, crafting your brand from the inside out. And I gotta tell you, it's tremendously important when we're developing our brand and how to interact with others, and whether that involves employee productivity, selling ourselves, getting promoted, or just being happier in life. It's finding our self-worth. If we don't value ourselves, then how are others going to value us? That seems like a big bomb drop on you right at the outset, but it's something I think about all the time. And we talk to our clients about it all the time. It used to be that in my world, I was a securities lawyer. So my self-worth was completely tied to my production, results, and productivity as a lawyer. It was not tied to my worth as a human being. That's a very dangerous ground to tread, and I'll tell you why from personal experience if you haven't already experienced it yourself. Because when your self-worth is tied to what you do for a living, then all of that is outside of your control. You're putting all that control in somebody else's, or more specifically, an entire industry or your entire employer, your boss's hands. And that feels awful. Wouldn't you agree? I remember when that was my self-worth litmus, it made me feel terrible that my self-worth was tied to what I did during the day. Here's the deal, my friends. Our brand and our value is determined by who we are, not what we do. So our self-worth then has to be derived by who we are, not what we do. That's why the brand comes from the inside out. When I work with clients, the first 3 months of all our work is about introspection and who people are and who we are as human beings. Is it comfortable? Heck no. When I transitioned from being a lawyer to what I do now, I never wanted to figure that out. It was very, very difficult, but it was probably one of the most important things I did to build a solid foundation for understanding why I do what I do for other people. If I don't know who I am and what my self-worth is tied to, i.e. what my purpose is and what my values are and what my strengths are, then how could I ever take that message out as a strong and clear and concise brand to others? That's the way we influence the world, by telling them our self-worth in terms of how we can help them. So, what does this mean for you? Stop and consider. How do you measure your self-worth? Is it tied in other people's perception, in what you do for a living, in what others say about you? And I'm not asking you to discount what others say about you, but really stop and think, is that the measure of your self-worth? And if you realize that it's not and get uncomfortable with it, great. That means you're growing and you're changing. Sit in that discomfort. And the next question to consider for yourself is, who are you? What is your self-worth tied to? How are you going to find it? The best part of this process is the tool that I'm going to give you next, which is journaling. You've heard it before, you've probably done it before, but just close your mind and let your gut take over, and from a free flow, start writing who you think you are. I call that the personal connection story, which we do with clients. You can do that yourself. Start crafting your self-worth by letting your inner guidance, your gut, whatever you want to call it, your higher self, start telling you who you are and why you're here. And from there then, that lays the foundation for the beautiful part of creating that brand that influences others, that gets you seen, that gets you heard, that builds up your self-confidence from the inside out in a way that's unshakable, so attractive to people, and it moves mountains. It gets you wealth, it gets you productivity. Whatever you want, the world is yours. If you need more help, please jump onto our website, www.puristconsulting.com. Check out all our blog posts. Check out our guides, download them, and I'm always here to listen, and I'm always here to lend a hand, whether that means through a program, through an email, or through a call. Until next time, Katy G out.